When I was a young spring chicken, much like most of you, I used to get up extra early on Saturday mornings to watch cartoons. Now as a teenager, Saturday mornings are great for sleeping in, except for during forensic season, of course. However, there is one more reason I am willing to get up extra early on a Saturday for: to get the mail. Still in my pajamas, yes, I still wear my PJs, I run outside to make a mad dash for the mailbox. At this point, you're probably thinking of a couple of questions. What is so thrillingly amazing inside the mailbox? What could cause him to wake up so early on a Saturday morning? And why is this dashing young handsome fellow still wearing his PJs? I'm able to look inside my mailbox and find the one thing that lets me shake reality and allow my imagination and fantasies to take over. I'm talking about comic books, of course. The fiercest, most exciting, off the edge of your seat type of comic books. Marvel comic books. These aren't just any other type of comic books, they are never-ending sagas for telling tales of superheroes, supervillains, and oversized sound effects. To look inside this amazing universe, we must slowly turn one page at a time and explore Marvel. In doing so, we will first pow our way through the history of Marvel and find out how our favorite superheroes were created. Then we'll smash into the heavy competition with the other comic book companies. And finally, we'll splunk into how Marvel has transformed the world and expanded into a multimedia culture. And just like Wolverine's sharp claws, I'll be sure to make a few points. It's safe to say that Marvel's past started off with a bang when World War II began to brew around the globe. And it was then that a man named Martin Goodman decided to lift the spirits of American citizens by publishing something for the nervous nation. Goodman, a pulp magazine publisher at the time, created a new company called Marvel Comics and put forth a fresh idea on the bookshelves. The issue, Timely Comics number 1, later changed to Marvel Comics, was released in October 1939 and contained the superheroes the Human Torch and the anti-hero Namor the Submariner. It was a huge success, and the company began to think of more page-turning ideas. With the war in mind, the company created a series dedicated to the troops, entitled Captain America Comics number 1, released in March of '41. This was the first appearance of Marvel's icon and leader of justice, Captain America. Within a few months, Marvel Comics began to soar. Star-studded superheroes had their big breaks between 1942 and the mid-1950s. Other Marvel creations from writers like Stan Lee and Steve Ditko included The Incredible Hulk number 1, previewing The Incredible Hulk, Journey into Mystery number 83 flew superhero Thor into disguise, and Amazing Fantasy number 15 introduced the world to Spider-Man. Soon a cast of recognizable and memorable superheroes began to spur throughout the entire nation. Iron Man, Ant-Man, the X-Men, and Daredevil have captivated the imaginations of the young and slightly older teens like myself, and took us into another reality. But the late 1950s, a dark and drastic era swept over the company. As the number of television watchers increased, the comic book world began to slow down drastically. And the company almost disappeared completely, until co-creator and writer Jack Kirby brought 4 amazing superheroes all together in one breathtaking team. In November of 1961, the first issue of the Fantastic Four was released, containing all 4 superheroes, which gave buyers more bang for their buck. So with the future secure and the company saved by Mr. Kirby, it was perfect timing to create more comic books that gave a higher advantage than the average. And with this timing ability, they were able to adapt another childhood craze of mine by creating a spin-off comic book version of the popular toy line of action figures, Transformers. But in the comic book world, the best of the best will always have some sort of competition at one time or another, and that is so even in real life. In this case, Marvel Comics were duking it out with their rival company, DC Comics. Although DC Comics was founded in 1934, they had only created smaller superheroes in their big break iconic superhero, Superman. Both of the companies were located in New York City, so it wasn't hard to send spies into the competitors' secret files to find future heroes and storylines of existing comics. This ongoing rivalry continued for more than 50 years, until in 1996 that both companies decided to cross over and have the battle of the century. 4 issues were created by Ron Mars and Peter David that consisted of superheroes from both the DC and Marvel universe facing it off with one another. Aquaman defeated Namor and Spider-Man defeated Superboy. However, it's still too hard to tell which team is number 1. But the special arena of comic books brings out the youngest and the oldest of readers, and it is an honored tradition to read comic books and allow one's imagination to spiral into new worlds and embrace your childhood over again. Perhaps that is the true power of comic books after all. And when I talk about power, I really mean that Marvel Comics has power behind the paper, ink. When I talk about power, I truly mean that Marvel has power behind the paper and ink that they publish. Not only do they put a spell over me that makes me run out to my mailbox in my pajamas, but they provide a whole world of entertainment that I look forward to at my home and at the box office. In 1993, Marvel released a state-of-the-art studio called Marvel Studios that transformed everyday stars into the memorable superheroes that I see in the comic books. And with past Marvel releases such as cult classic Howard the Duck in 1986, Marvel Studios has a brighter future ahead of them. And the first major big-budget Marvel movie would have to be Blade in 1998, starring Wesley Snipes as the Detroit vampire hunter himself. From then on, we have had more Marvel movies, such as X-Men in 2000, Spider-Man in 2002, and recent box office smash hit, Iron Man in 2008. But seeing my favorite superheroes on the big screen wasn't my only excitement. Television was packed with web-slinging, gamma radiation, and mutant schools. And the most famous Marvel television show would have to be The Incredible Hulk, starring Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. With the original run of November 4th, 1977 to May 12th, 1982, it lasted for 5 seasons, 86 episodes, and has become a major cult classic television show of today. And children had more on Fox Kids with the animated series X-Men, lasting from October 31st, 1983. It had 5 years, 72 episodes, and you can still catch some of the reruns on television every now and then. So there you have it. I might as well give you my deep and dark secret finally. I am in fact a superhero, Captain Informative, the power to break away from reality and explore impossible worlds. That might be stretching it a bit, but nevertheless, with imagination, anything is possible. And I finally have that excuse to run out to my mailbox in my pajamas, my superhero suit, if you will, because it serves as a portal into another world, the world of Marvel comic books. So with the amazing history, the stiff competition, and the increase of Marvel movies, Marvel Comics has certainly made a big impact, not only to the comic book world, but to me as well. Now, I like to brainstorm up another childhood memory of mine, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I'll save that for the next issue.